Welcome to Untitled TV with the full review of the Huawei S10 P6 smartphone, which is one of the best smartphones in 2013 when it comes to price and hardware, since you only have to pay about 370 bucks right now here in Germany for this 450 MSRP priced product actually, and it's still a quite new and a fast and also slim device. 6.2 millimeters makes this one of the slimmest smartphones in the world, and we already gave you a little review in 7 minutes when it was announced, but now we have a little bit more time, or had a little bit more time with the device, so we can show you definitely around what you can do with this beautifully designed device. First, what I will do is show you that you can set different themes. For example, we have Halo, Taste, Pure, Elegant, Crystal. There's hundreds and hundreds more online. You can also share yours with other people and or save yours for the next time or your next phone. What I will do now is go here to the official one, and you can see I could go here to the last one, next one, and check out here how it looks like. And you can also see that it's developed by Huawei in May 2013. It's 10 megabytes big, and we can just say apply, and then the full design will change. The white one I had before, the pure one, is I think nice for the white or the pink version of this phone, since there's 3 colors available. We actually have the black one, and as you can see, it's performing really quite fast. And you can also here set different transitions. I had windmill now. There's also squeeze, which is quite interesting because you just squeeze the last window here to the side. Transitions again, I can do flip over. It also looks quite interesting here, this nice little 3D animation, and there's much more. But what we will show you of course also is what different settings we have. Let's just go here to settings, and you can see here, for example, this is standard Android here. There's also glove mode, which is nice, so you can use this device also with your gloves. You can go to general, which is a little bit simplified, the same thing you saw before, for notifications, home, screen lock, and so on. Easily setting it up is also possible for maybe older people. What you have also here on the bottom is the 3 standard Android buttons on your screen, 4.7 inches, where you can see that we have right now 606 megabyte in use, and there's still 1.1 gigabytes free. And what I can do is close, for example, just the settings like this here in Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, or just hit this button on the bottom, and it will close everything here that I have open from my German test I did before. And you can now see 460 megabytes are freed up right now. And what you can also do is change, of course, the icons here on the bottom. If you don't like that one, you can remove it and take another one here from the home screen. For example, I know I am watching a lot of videos, just move this there. Question is of course also, can I do 5? Yes, you can. And you can also do folders on the bottom, which is of course quite nice. So you can add all kinds of apps down there, and you can get them of course also out again. So let's just go back like this. Interesting here with Huawei is when you download an app, there is no extra button where you see all your apps, because all your apps are always on the home screen. As you can see, this is all we have installed here, but you can of course also do folders, like for example management. You can see all kinds of nice apps here by Huawei, or in tools we have the flashlight, sound recorder, notes, movie studio, FM radio, voice dial, and so on. Movie studio is also quite nice, since you can just start making your own movie by adding here content, record a video, take a photo, import clip, for example, import image. You can just say I want to use the gallery here, want to take a photo, which one, maybe this nice little flower. Then you have your photo right there. I want to import a video clip, gallery, just once, my photos. Then we have here this footage. And you can see, can zoom in, zoom out, you can add audio to it, music, just once, this one, sample here it, and then you can see here on the bottom, it's loading in, and it tells you also how long your video is, 1 minute and 39 seconds. You can zoom in, for example, a little bit. I have this picture here on the beginning, maybe I want to make this longer, that's quite easy. You can see now the sound also on the bottom, how it looks like. You can set the video maybe to that mood, and so on. You can add effects, sepia, pan zoom, transitions, negative, and so on. add title, so you can add text, change rendering mode and remove. So this is just a basic little look at how Movie Studio works. Let me close it up. It needs 500 megabytes of RAM, so I just want to close it. Then of course, I think a little bit more interesting are for everyday use, the Power Manager, where you can see that we have right now 13 hours of usage left at 64% of battery life. This is actually pre-production model, so these are not real numbers, or not how the regular Huawei S10 P6 would behave at 60%. Of course, you have more than 13 hours, or in normal use 11 hours, or in smart use 12.2 hours. But what's also interesting here on the bottom, you can do power saving and startup manager. Now you can check out in power saving what apps you don't want to use at all, so you cannot use them, to save a little bit more power and they won't run in the background. With Startup Manager you can set up which apps should start when you start your smartphone in the background. And of course also consumption level is quite nice to see what needs the most power. Android OS and Android system, of course you cannot turn those off right now for me, but Gmail and MX Player needs also quite a lot, the Wi-Fi, Gallery, Movie Studio and so on. Time left details also nice, so you know that, for example, I can watch a short little movie, 2 hours 48 minutes right now left if you just want to look at videos. Reading time a little bit more, internet use is about usually the same as reading time, calling time and music playback is usually the longest. So let's go just back. We have checked this app out. What you can also see here is that we have a permissions manager, which is also a unique way by Huawei to show you that you can give your apps, like for example Minion Rush, access to all kinds of personal information that usually apps want. You can give it to them and then you can later turn it off and you can still use the app. As you can see, I have turned it off, but there is actually not much else here going on, since I have 0 apps that want to have my location, call log, messages, but there's usually some, and there's even here a problem with SMS spamming with some apps, so you can see a list of apps that send SMS and you can also turn that off. As you can see, I have none right now. You can protect the camera also. No app should shoot pictures of you, and you can protect calls, so the same thing as with SMS or text messages doesn't happen with you with phone calls. What's also one of the best features I like here is you can give permissions to apps, how many megabytes, or should it use 3G or 2G connection or only Wi-Fi to get their own data. Since a lot of people only have a few hundred megabytes, you can say, for example, your Minion Rush already needed 88 megabytes of data over Wi-Fi, 0 in 3G right now, and it will happen, it will stay with 0 since it's not allowed to use data over 2G and 3G. But there's of course usually some apps that will use 2G and 3G, and you have to allow it. For example, Gmail, I of course want to also answer my emails on the go, and this is quite nice since you have a really long list of apps here that you can set up. On the bottom you have the 3 little dots where you can restrict background data also, which means that you can't access, or the apps can't access the 3G at all or 2G when you have the device just in your pocket. So there will be no push email notifications, anything like that, unless you are on Wi-Fi, since that needs less power and doesn't consume that much. Push messages, as you can see here, not enabled right now, which means that you can authorize also messages. There's always some stupid malware and hackers that send all the time here messages to your notification center here, and you can turn that of course off. And actually what I haven't even shown before is that you have all kinds of things here that you can turn on and off right away, like rotation, brightness, multi-screen, screenshots, and you can do more. There's a whole list, and what's nice again here is you can actually say, okay, I want volume here but screenshot not, or I want the multi-screen not there but the screenshot feature I want there. So you can switch these up as you want, and they will be in this order here, as you can see on the screen up here in the status bar on top. So you can see now it changed already. Volume and screenshot are right there as I set it up right here. So we have seen a permissions manager. The other programs are not that interesting, I think. Here in tools we also checked most of them. What we can do now is maybe watch a little movie, which I recorded with the camera. Here, for example, start over. From the top of the hill, this is what you can shoot here with the 720p camera in the back. 5 megapixel. No full HD is possible, which is kind of sad, but still the picture is really quite sharp, crisp, the colors look beautiful, and it's totally enough for snapshots with video and photo. Zooming is of course only digital, as you can see here, means you won't see that much more when you zoom in, because you just zoom in at the pixels and the pixels will stay the same size. So what happens when you go here into a club, for example, you will see that the low light is quite good. You can see most people, there's not much light going on actually in the club. Sound is of course not recorded that good because it's just too loud for a small little microphone, but otherwise everything looks quite sharp, good. Zooming in maybe also helpful, maybe not. There's some goats in the background, but actually here the camera is also in low light, quite good I would say. Can compete with Apple and other companies. You can just check out here the full content on Untitled TV. These both are up in 720p with the megabyte description and everything. You can just check that out. Actually, I'm kind of interested in the megabyte right now, so maybe, yeah, 100 megabyte for 1 minute. That's just actually normal. What we haven't checked actually out yet is the picture, how the pictures look like with the phone. So we have my photos here, you can see quite a few pics. Just a Pepsi, and you can zoom in quite far and everything is really sharp. You can even see the little grains here on the paper. Looks quite good. And you have also nice little animations, as you can see here, going left and right. It's quite nice. There is a lag. And of course rotating the pictures, also no problem, happens quite quickly. So what else do we have is of course the browser to just see the keyboard. So we have TechHive loading right now, but what we actually want is here looking at the keyboard. Looks like this. I have multiple languages installed, which can change right here on the top: German, English, Hungarian. I can switch to German, so you can see the it switches right here on the bottom, but the last two languages you can actually always switch right here also. Here D, E, E, N. Now we are at English again, but in German it's actually quite interesting that you have here this umlauts, where you can just hold the key down and then hit that, for example, to have the umlaut. You don't have to swipe or anything like with Apple, so this is actually, I think, easier. Otherwise, here of course special characters. Let me just flip it around, so you can see that it flips around also quite quickly. And you have of course Alt here, so you have even more. Fahrenheit, for example, going Alt brings you back. And okay, that's it from the keyboard. We have also File Manager built in, which not only gives you access here to all your files that are on the device, but you can also say here on the side you want to compress, for example, so you can send maybe 3 or 4 little pictures in smaller zip size to your friends at home or per email, so you don't have 3 or 4 megabytes of picture sizes here, as you can see, to send, which are usually too big or just takes too long actually. So what we also have to do is a game, and while the game is loading, let me show you around the device. We haven't done yet haven't done that yet, this way around. You can see that we have here the little pin. This pin is quite handy to just take it out. There is the 3.5mm jack for your headphones, and actually with this little pin you can get here out the micro SD card reader, for example, and the SIM card reader. So you just have to push it in like this, and then you can slide this out for the micro SD, for example. And here there's another slot for your micro SIM. So we have here also volume control, on and off switch. Looks quite good with the buttons. I'll just put this back in here, because one of the problems actually with this phone and with, or actually just with this pin, is what do I do with this when I'm listening to music? You have to put it in your pocket or your or anywhere you won't lose it, or just leave it at home, and then you don't have any access to these little doors, but you usually, I think, don't need them anyway too often. On the top, micro SD card, micro USB, little microphone here for conference calls. On the back, the camera with flash, and also here the speakers, which we will still have to take a sound check with, and you can actually take this here off on the back. This is just a little sticker. You just have the nice black Huawei back from metal built and the logo right there. And actually the only plastic part of the device is here the bottom, so the Wi-Fi and the 3G and 2G antennas will work. There's actually no 4G in the phone, and here's the front camera, which we already used before. So let's play a round of Minion Rush, so you can see that everything runs smoothly and nicely here with the high res or the nice little animations. So you can see that it's fast, you can jump, run, and is one of the most downloaded apps here in the last weeks, so that's why I'm playing it. And yeah, you see a problem. What I did right now is that since we have here the touch buttons on the bottom, I wanted to jump, but now I got Google Now, so I can just here open this up and you see this would be Google Now, and that's what happened to me just right now. So that's maybe one drawback also, is that we have always here the buttons, but that every device has this problem, I think, except for devices with the hardware button right here. For example, the Apple iPhone 5, and that's actually what I want to do anyway right now, is compare a little bit, because a lot of people would say, okay, this is a knockoff, but you can see on the corners already, it's not the same angle. Okay, what looks the same is really here this little line, but otherwise the buttons look completely different. Here from the left side, everything is different. Huawei is of course slimmer on the bottom, not the same of course, and on the other side again, even the little door here for the SIM card, this has round edges, and here actually we have squared edges, and only maybe the on and off button here look kind of identical, but of course it's not even on the same side. So it's hard to argue for Huawei that they copied actually Apple. They just had their own ideas. If you want something with LTE, not maybe Android, but Windows Phone, you should check out Nokia for 300 bucks, LTE smartphone, about the same price, same size, both 4.7 inches in screen size, actually, as you can see here maybe, and some crazy colors here from Nokia, but of course not the slimmest and not a full metal phone at all. This is mainly plastic. That's why it's only 300 bucks, not 450 to 350 right now here with the Huawei. So Samsung Galaxy S4, I don't have the S4 Mini, but the S4 is about also the same size, except for the display, 5-inch versus 4.7. You can see that of course Huawei is slimmer. That's why they have the slimmest smartphone in the world title. And you can see of course looks quite good, and from the front it's also slimmer actually, here in the width and in the height about the same. So we have usually, I think, in the box also here a nice little case, which is available in different colors, protects here the sides from scratches, and when you would drop it, nothing should happen, and you still have access to all your buttons and headphone and everything. That's quite nice. And what's also interesting is that we have a glove mode, as you have seen before, but you can also use the screen through the screen protector. So I will just put it on like this. You can still see the screen. It's a little bit matte, but you can really just browse here through the content also through the protector, which would be also then a nice actually display protector. But of course it's not really that handy, since the ports will be then on the wrong spots. It's just a nice little show that you can see that also with your gloves it would work nicely. And before we end everything here, let me just play some music. So you can hear a little bit also the speaker. It's a mono speaker, nothing special, not too loud, but it's enough for just playing quick tunes, I think, to friends. And what I also forgot is here the special little widget by Huawei, which you can touch to customize, where you can add different people here, some pictures, music, weather. I can just, for example, close here the picture gallery, and I can put maybe this weather widget right here. Close this one on the top, I don't want that one, and maybe put the music also right there. And we had the gallery before, I could put that right there again, or what I can do is also put more contacts here, which you have to tap of course, so you can have actually the contact that you want right there, or actually maybe I have to choose it right here, but I don't have any contacts right now on here, since this is just a test device. So this is one interesting widget that you have, but otherwise you have here the regular widgets also by Android, where you can see that it gives me also a little help how I should use this, for example for the clock. And yeah, these are just actually standard Android widgets, I think. So this was just a short, or well, not even a short, this was the full review of the Huawei S10 P6. I hope you liked it for 350 bucks. one of the best smartphones out there. Battery life could be a little bit better, but this, as I said, is just a pre-production. I think the full version has a little bit better battery life, with not 8% going down in 20 minutes. So till next time, peace, and then again, thank you very much with the Huawei S10 P6 review and comparison also. And for more information, just check out my other videos on the P6 here in the channel and Devil TV. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Balazs Gal, and thank you much for watching.